Hey guys, photo shoot ready, week number six with Kelly. 2.6 kilos down, there's lows left, right and center, and I don't really have to say too much more than just look what I've got sitting beside me, rig central. Biggest thing I always say about Kel is I can really notice with her delts as far as where she's at, but we've just taken some photos, had a bit of a chat about where Kel's sitting now. You know, and considering last week, I think it makes it all the more special as far as where we're sitting at now. You get tough times, we brush that away, but we use it as a bit of a learning curve, and I think we're sitting in a really good position when a game plan comes together. And one, you trust the process, but two is just ticking off the boxes. I think that's the biggest thing I said with advice with Kel at the moment, because I'll explain in a minute on what Kel's sort of trying to juggle, not just photo shoot, but everything else going on as well. I think the biggest thing is if Kel wasn't able to go do a swim session or something like that, we would replace it with some equal form of cardio. So all in all this week, I'll discuss the measurements in a minute, but Kel, do you want to give a bit of an overview on how you're feeling? And not only that, is just what you're seeing. And it's only been 6 weeks, guys. Like, if we wanted to push Kel further and we had a longer time frame, and we've got the ability to do so, but this was all set up as a strategic purpose. Another great learning lesson for Kel, but it's pretty cool too, because our ability to communicate, feedback, game strategies, everything like that, it's great now because we know how Kel's body works. And I just couldn't be more proud as far as sitting here right now from when Kel sent me the message saying, "Ads, this is what I want to do," to us sitting here now going, wow, we've gone through some pretty interesting times, great times, good times, shit times, whatever, but we're sitting here now, and I'd say since I've been working with you, you're probably in the best shape, hands down. And symmetry. The other thing too, you've got to understand, Kel's put on like a good couple kilos of quality muscle as well in all the right areas. So yeah, Kel, fire away, give the guys a bit of an overview on how you're feeling, sort of, looking back on the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, looking back on the last 6 weeks, definitely, as you said, been a roller coaster, but feeling good right now. Obviously a little bit tired and sore from training, but still pushing through. So we did 5 sessions of weights again this week. We've got some cardio, some swimming, cycle, running, a few extra things like that. But yeah, otherwise feeling good in general. Now that I'm seeing the scales come back down, the measurements coming right down to the lowest I've been since working with Adam. Yeah. Very happy.
Yeah. All in all, and this is another thing too, guys, is using scales as the only form of data is just such it can be so disappointing, but it does not tell the tale as far as progress. So from day dot, we made sure that we split it off: a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday check-in. So Kel would do a full measurements, which she's just started continuing doing measurements right the way through, but also the scales. And what you do, just say if you are weighing daily or you're weighing 3 times a week, you take those measurements and you get the average of the 3 measurements which we've been doing. And Kel, this week alone, is 900 grams down on her weight, but her averages every week, regardless if they've been fluctuating, we've just and I always send it to her, just for another form of data. But knowing that every week, regardless of there being some fluctuations through the week, there's been a really nice consistent drop through. And there's times as a coach, one, you look at the data and make a decision based on the data, or two, you go with your gut or intuition. And last week I just knew, I even said to Kel, I have a feeling that we're going to see some new lows this coming week. I don't know, it's just when you know someone's body and how it works, and lo and behold, it's just gone from this last 2 weeks especially. So I think just pulling all that data and making a decision moving forward there, and not only that, going with your gut sometimes. I could have been a bit more aggressive with things and given you more exercise and probably ripped some food, but at the end of the day, we got to understand through this journey, it's photo shoot ready, it's not stage ready. might be a bit of a different call if Kel was a little bit behind there or we had a bit more time, which normally would be a lot more than 6 weeks through that transitional process as well. So 2.6 kilos down, good couple of centimetres off the waist. We're actually at the lowest she's been, but Kel's actually a couple of kilos up from a while ago, but leaner, and measurements are at the lowest. So it just shows as far as the level of body composition and what we want to achieve with Kel. The 5 days a week of weights. So let's talk training. The weight side of things too, I think you're enjoying it a lot more now, because I had to back in the, before it was change and modify that, because you weren't ready to lift heavy things at that time, and you're enjoying all the sweat up and
loving the lifting heavy. Like a few months back we changed it because I wasn't in the mind frame to be lifting heavy, and now we're back on track. I'm just aiming for those PBs every session.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, Kel through dieting, increased exercise, is still hitting PBs and performing really, really well there. So, the biggest thing whilst dieting as well, especially for Kel, is muscle maintenance. The last thing you want to do is just drop weight for the sake of it. So the intensity whilst training, and obviously, the signs there where Kel's still hitting PBs is a very good sign as far as getting as much muscle preservation in the process while dieting. Not much should change, maybe volume to a certain extent when you're getting really down to the red zone, but not much should change in a calorie deficit training wise, especially if you're trying to achieve the optimal shape that you're after. Weights I'm talking about, cardio, there might be a bit of an increase there. And with Kel, I made a big point as far as incorporating what she's doing with the triathlon as increased exercise rather than pulling from Kel's food. And we're still, now food-wise, we're still at 1,530 calories. Again, relatively low for Kel. Kel's normally sitting around the 2,000 mark. But, at the end of the day, the reverse when it comes, we can get things up basically out of the danger zone as quick as possible. So, cardio-wise, medium intensity steady state, so cross trainer or whatever it may be after weights. We've got 2 swims. Now, Kel hasn't made the swims, which has been on occasion. She's swapping it for something of even intensity, and the 1 cycle a week. So how are you finding the workload there?
Yeah, no, not too bad. Like, it's not too intensive of triathlon training, but it's a good balance between the both.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing too, Noosa Try is the day after Kel's photo shoot, just to let you guys know. So there's a few spanners thrown in the works, keeping things very, very interesting, but Kel's gone in there to enjoy it. And Kel also said, at least I'm going to go in and shred it. So,
brown and look good.
Yep, brown look good, there we go.
I'll be slow if that doesn't work.
Going in and to enjoy it. There will be 99.9% less as a total F up. Burger and chips the night before, which Kel's been looking forward to for her sanity.
Counting down.
And the last thing I really wanted to touch on now, and more important than ever, is I think, for one, we'll still keep some video entries going post photo shoot, purely for the purpose of Kel's accountability with what happens following hitting a deadline or a weight goal or whatever it may be, because I just wanted Kel, you to sort of explain now. I've gone through. Now, we got Kel to a very good position, 6 or 8 months ago.
8 months ago, yeah.
And the after dieting period wasn't as calculated and as spot on as probably what we would have liked it. This next 6 weeks following the photo shoot is probably total crunch time. Purely for the purpose as well, guys, is that leading up to the silly season, when things get warmer, the ultimate goal for Kel is to maintain her shape whilst being on a decent amount of calories to be able to cater for freedom and flexibility. And the thing is too, it's not a matter of I'm not going, Kel, you can't go live life and enjoy yourself. It's like, do you want to look good for a couple of weeks, or do you want to sort of reset your body fat set point and maintain a really good condition with some decent amount of calories? You've got to do your time as far as in your due diligence. to basically get the food back up, kick the metabolism into overdrive, so that you are in that position. And unfortunately, people are very impatient, and not only that, social environments and alcohol and food. What do you normally do when you're starting to look your best? You want to go out and enjoy yourself, sort of thing. So with that being said, and Kel, your experience last time from when that happened,
Yes.
how do you feel going in with so much knowledge now of what could potentially happen, but what will happen if you do the right thing?
Yeah, obviously it still scares me because, as you said, you hit that deadline and then you go, oh, I'm done, I can eat whatever, but I can't. So that still scares me, but obviously if I'm going to be accountable to you guys afterwards, that will probably help as well, because last thing you want to be sitting me back here.
Michelin man and woman.
A week later.
They leave that to me. Balkan bro.
Yeah. So yeah, I think as long as we do it properly, because last time I got to a certain point and then went on holidays and thought, oh, these little things won't affect me, but they did.
Chocolate factory, and
a few other little treats. But then yeah, so this time around, getting to this point again, doing all that hard work, I want to stay here. So.
Yeah. But mind you, you started at a different set point this time, even though we didn't, but we know we can fine tune and do better. I think it's a learning process every single time you go through, but I think now more than ever, you knowing exactly the consequences if you go laxy-daisy, because what people go, oh, I've got to live life and what's the use of doing this? I agree, 100%. I'm the ultimate foodie, Kel's the ultimate foodie, we love food and alcohol, whatever. But you've got to do your time. You've got to do the right processes to enable that to happen. And unfortunately, when the body diets, it doesn't realise that it wants you want to keep a six-pack and keep in shape. It's got survival. It's total priority. And when an influx of calories comes in quite consistently after being restricted for a certain period of time, the body thinks, oh, feast. It's time to take advantage of the extra calories and store them in our reserve fuel tanks, aka body fat, for later.
Yeah.
And this, hence why the recovery diet or the metabolic building phases is the most important goal. But probably what we'll do more than anything is set some initial mini goals. There is actually probably even more accountability wise for a few cool things that are happening behind the scenes, which Kel must be a walking billboard for. But apart from that, I think it's pretty cool sitting back knowing that the game plan's just working mint. So, yeah. Anything else to add, Kel, after week number 6? No?
I'm hungry.
She's gone. Actually, Kel's going to go surfing, yeah?
I'm doing surf lessons.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. Trying new things. But all in all, crushing it, killing it, looking fantastic. 2.6 kilos down. Guys, hope you're sort of enjoying the transitional process of what Kel's gone through. By no means has it been smooth sailing, but we've kept a game plan, we've stuck to a game plan, and we've communicated anything that needs to be dealt with then and there. And really looking forward to next Saturday. Game on. Over and out. Week 6. There we go.